What's up, everybody? Masterofalltings here, back again with another video. Today, we're going to be talking about fights to make after 326, Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway. I'm only going to do the main event for the prelims and then just the main event. I'll talk about the losers. Maybe some of them are kind of hard because most of the fights were like number 15. So I'm just going to give someone some random ass fighter, so I'll probably talk about it, but I may not. Matters how I feel during this video. So let's get started. For the first person, we got Cody Garbrandt with the win. Honestly, bro, no, let's cut the shit. Just retire, bro. Let's retire. This fight should have easily, I wouldn't say easily, but this fight should have been low key a do it, like a make or break for his career going forward after this. And he only won because of the nut shots that happened during the fight. And if it didn't happen, he just would have lost 30-27. So I really think he should just retire. I don't think that honestly, bro. I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he does one more. I truly think he's gonna do one more fight and then retire, win or lose. But I think he should just retire at this point. The skill set right now is just not good to be lose. Like he lost. He lost. I know he only won because of the points, but realistically, he lost the fight. If it wasn't for the nut shots, it wouldn't have mattered. He literally just lost and then ran away for the third round. So I think he should just retire. Honestly, just maybe he doesn't want to retire on a win like that. I could see that, but I don't know. At this point, I would just retire. If I was Cody Garbrandt, thinking about my career, thinking about how I just fought, thinking about the reception that I got, and how I fought in the third round, I would just retire. Honestly, I don't see anything going for him after this. He might just get it. He's just gonna get another random. He's just gonna get another random. I don't know who, but just a random. Just retire, bro. I'm begging you. I don't want to see you knocked out. Now this is the real one. Let's start with the main events. Gregory Rodriguez. I got 2 fights. Beat Ferreira. Now I'm gonna say now I was thinking of doing RDR, but they're in the same teams, so I highly doubt he's gonna fight his own teammate. And so no, he definitely isn't gonna fight his teammate. I knew that, so I was gonna put him if they weren't in the same team, but since they are, I know they're just not gonna fight. So I got Robert Whitaker. Only if he doesn't go up to 205. Robert Whitaker for the past months have been saying he wants to go to 205, test his luck there, see how good or bad he could do on 205. But I don't. Maybe the UFC doesn't want it. I know he said he's training to he doesn't have a fight, but he is training for the next fight to be 205. But in my opinion, I just don't think that's a good idea. Cause low key, bro, you're fighting a 205er with Gregory Rodriguez. I'm not gonna lie, cause I'm not gonna lie, he is still at a disadvantage. But even then, I think Gregory Rodriguez is a winnable fight. I know Gregory Rodriguez has been more reserved ever since the Cannoneer. We humbled him, but I think it's more winnable than any of the 205ers, unless he fights Jamal Hill. I think I can see Khalil beating him. I can, not that he will, but I can see Khalil beating him. I could definitely see Deary would definitely beat him. Carlos Oberg would beat him. Ankalaev would most likely beat him. Alex Pereira, if he was still in 205, would beat him. I forgot the undefeated Russian dude that's in there would probably beat him. Just my opinion. I just don't feel like he's gonna be good at 205. I think he's just fight middleweight. Maybe 1 or 2 more fights. See if he's good and bad on this fight, and if not, then yeah, just retire. But I also got one more guy. This is honestly, in my opinion, this is the most realistic fight. Because they're not gonna give him anyone up. Because Joe Pyfer is fighting Israel Adesanya, so those two can't fight. He's not gonna fight RDR. I don't think Kyle Borralho is gonna fight under the rankings, and they're not gonna give him Dricus. They're not gonna give him Brendan. They're not gonna give him Emavo, Sean Strickland, maybe Anthony Hernandez. I could see them giving them Anthony Hernandez, but I don't think so either. I could see. Honestly, I should have put Anthony Hernandez. I could see him jumping the line over a lot of people to give them Anthony Hernandez, but I don't think after seeing how Anthony Hernandez lost and how if you, I don't know. We do have to see, but those right now, honestly I'll put three: Robert Whitaker, Roman Delisi, and Anthony Hernandez. Those three are the ones that I'm really thinking of for Gregory Rodriguez. I think the most likely one would be, uh, honestly, I think Roman Anthony Hernandez would be the realistic one, just since how he knocked out Ferreira in the first literally minute of the round. So I think they might push him to Anthony Hernandez. That wouldn't be bad, honestly. Now on to Drew Dober. I'm not gonna say the memes because he does not like them, so I'm gonna respectfully respect his respectful wishes of people not respecting his wishes. For the oh no, I only got one person. Alexander Hernandez. He was supposed to fight Michael Johnson. I think Michael Johnson before that was on a 2-fight winning streak. He beat I forgot who he beat, but then he beat Zell Huber and then was gonna fight Anthony Hernandez. I think low key just give him Anthony Hernandez to Drew Dober. I think that would be a pretty good fight. Both they were supposed to fight. I don't know if they've like Drew Dober and Alexander Hernandez fought, but I think in this point they're both point of the career. They're both kind of almost in the ranking spot. With Drew Dober having 2 wins in a row, and then I think also Alexander is on a 3-fight winning streak. I think after this fight, you can argue for their next fight to be in the rankings. In my opinion, I think it would be a fun fight with both of them in a KO streak with their wins. I don't know about Alexander Hernandez. I know the last 2 he did, but I don't know about the third one if he is in a 3rd-fight winning streak. But I think this was a pretty good fight. Michael Johnson, I don't really know who you give him at his age, where he was in the not he wasn't in the rankings, but where his position was if he would have beat Drew Dober. It's kind of hard. Maybe Bobby Green. That actually wouldn't be a bad one. But I'd have to see. That would honestly Drew Dober versus Bobby Green, King Green wouldn't be a bad one, honestly, in my opinion. I think if I think that's another ranking spot. If Bobby King Green beats Michael Johnson, he deserves to fight in the rankings, and same vice versa. I know Michael Johnson lost, but still, the people he was fighting are kind of ranked worthy. Now on to the next one. I kind of feel bad for Raul Rosas Jr. On the internet, on Google, in person. People just make fun of his looks, and on my life, I could not find a better picture than this. I swear to God. I could find a better quality picture, but it wouldn't be one of like these ones. So the UFC are doing him dirty. I swear I did not see any in person. I didn't try super hard, but I'm not gonna like. But I did like try to see if I could find any better pictures. This is the best one. I got 2 fights to give him. One, it's Chito Vera. Honestly, that this is a pretty easy fight. Both of the honestly, I could. The next 2 ones are pretty easy. Chito Vera, you can easily just take him down, hug him, like how we did to Rob Font. Chito Vera is not good. Is just not good at all. The thing is, I just don't know if he would want to take this fight or drag it on to like a whole, like almost damn near the next year. But I think this fight kind of makes sense since Rob Font was on a losing. Did lose his last fight, and then Chito Vera right now I believe is on a 4-fight losing streak, if I'm not mistaken. Sean O'Malley, Davison Figueiredo, and David Martinez. I'm trying to see if there's anything between that, but I don't think there is. Oh, Amin Zahabi, yeah. So for 4-fight losing streak, and I mean maybe Chito Vera can win with his age experience. I know he's really bad, but old experience does help a lot in a fight. But I feel like if Rob Font couldn't beat him with experience, I don't think Chito Vera, in my opinion, could beat him. For the next guy, I got is Davison Figueiredo. Now he honestly, I think David's. God damn, I don't know what picture is this, but he looks so weird. He looks I know he's short, but you could I feel like in this picture, you could tell he's just short. You could like the way his body. He looks like Manel Cap, in my opinion. I feel like if he just slightly darken the color. You just get Manel Cap. The way his body looks on his shoulders, his head. That's literally Manel Cap. He look like if he just had a little bit, if he just like had his titties drop, that would be Manel Cap. No, bro, I might just be onto something. Okay, but Figgy is so washed at this point. This is I don't know why he he moved up a division because he was having trouble losing the weight. Just for him to not lose the weight. I don't understand. I don't know. He can't go to featherweight because that's gonna be too big for him. And bantamweight's damn near already a hard division to get to because he's already a smaller guy. And honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I think Figgy, both Cheeto and Figgy, this is low key like a retirement fight. I think if Cheeto loses, he might retire, and if Figgy loses, he also might retire. I just don't see them. I think Raul Wilson Jr. in their prime, I think they would beat Raul Wilson Jr. because I don't think highly of Raul Wilson Jr. in in a prophecy type way. I just don't think he's that good. But with the way they're fighting now, I think Raul Wilson Jr. just hugs him for 3 rounds, 30-20, easy 30-27 for all three. Davis and Figueroa, I could see him beat him, but the way he fought, the way he lost him, Umar, I think he would just lose the same way to Raul Jr. I can honestly see Raul Jr. getting the submission, since how big he is compared to someone like Figueroa. And Raul Jr. is only gonna pause. He's only gonna get bigger and stronger since he's only like 20, 21, 22, and Figgy's damn near 40. So I don't think I truly don't think any of these two, but they make the most sense for Raul Jr. I don't think they would give him to Peyton Talbot. Wait, low key, I think Peyton Talbot might actually get the Corey Sandhagen fight, in my opinion. I think so. That's what I'm thinking, but maybe. On to the next guy is Kyle Braulio. Got a robbery decision over RDR. I got 2 fights for him too. He looks like his eyes look like Trump. Like one is like, for some reason, about to blink, or like close his eyes, and they look cross-eyed. It looks a little weird. But I got 2 people for him. I got Dricus Du Plessis. This one I could see him giving him to Dricus Du Plessis. I forgot. I think he's like number 7 or. I believe he's number 7, or I believe he's the number after that. But I could see him getting Dricus Du Plessis with the fighting nerds, the shitty nerds hype. I could see them just giving him Dricus Du Plessis. I think Dricus Du Plessis actually like just runs through him. There's nothing in that Kyle Braulio versus Reina de Ritter fight that I saw that like made me think, okay, maybe he could do something. No, I think I don't know. I think Dricus Du Plessis just does He's a better RDR in my opinion. He's a better striker. He's a better grappler in terms of MMA. I think RDR Jesus Christ, Dricus Du Plessis is a better grappler than RDR in MMA, and I think Dricus Du Plessis would just piece him up. I think it would be standing most of the time, and I think Dricus would just beat him with how unorthodox he is, how weird he fights, how untiming he is. If Israel Adesanya, like a really good counter striker, cannot counter strike Dricus Du Plessis that well, I highly doubt. And Sean Strickland, I highly doubt someone like Kyle Braulio, who's going to war with RDR, who's not the best striker at all. I really don't think anything that Kyle Braulio is gonna do differently that Dricus Du Plessis just hasn't seen, in my opinion. He fought Robert Whittaker. He fought Israel Adesanya. He fought Sean Strickland twice. Sean Strickland is a weirder opponent than Kyle Braulio. And Kyle Braulio is a more technical striker. And Dricus Du Plessis already fought 2 technical strikers with Israel Adesanya and Robert Whittaker, and he pieced them up. Both finished them. So I highly doubt that Dricus Du Plessis is gonna have any trouble unless he's injured during the fight, but I highly doubt it. But the next guy I got is Brendan Allen. I know he's gonna fight under the rankings, but I could honestly see this being a title eliminator. Like both of them, if either of them win, they could fight for the title. If the UFC really wants to do that, and if Brendan Allen gets the finish, I could totally see Ooh, why did I say it like that? I could totally see uh either of them, if they get the win against each other, getting fighting for the title. But I don't know if they're gonna give Brendan Allen Dricus Duplessis, or I don't know. It's kind of hard because Anthony Hernandez lost, so that none of these guys are gonna go down. Are gonna want to fight down unless it's Dricus, because he lost. Brendan Allen isn't gonna fight him because he's already up. He's not gonna want to fight down, and he lost to him twice, so I don't think he wants to take the risk. Cal Baralio doesn't want to take the risk either. Sean Strickland is not gonna fight any of these motherfuckers. Hamzat isn't gonna fight any of these motherfuckers. And Malvov, it's kind of hard. That's why I'm giving Brendan Allen the rank down. But I think you could also just make it a title fight eliminator between, if these two win, if these two lose, and if Dricus Duplessis 50-45s Kyle Alio, then I could see him fighting for the title. But I think he would need another. I think the loser of Malvov. I think if Imavov loses, I could see him beating Kyle, and then him beating Imavov, and then him fighting for the title. Or unless Hamzat leaves the division, then I could see him winning again. Then if he beats either Brendan Allen or Kyle Brown, I could see Dricus Duplessis fighting for the title again. That's my little prediction. For RDR, let's pray. We gotta pray for this guy. He honestly is. RDR is my favorite fighter, so it was sad for me to see him lose. Um, but honestly, I thought he won. But at the same time, he just did not look good. He did not feel good from the way he looked. I don't know. I think it really is the weight cut. But I have two fights for him. One at the light heavyweight division, and the other one is in the middleweight division if he still decides to stay, which he most likely will, in my opinion. I don't think it's a good idea, but I think he most likely will. The first one is in the light heavyweight is Jamal Hill. Honestly, this is the most easiest fight I can really think of for him. That's not too low, and that's not too high, because I think low key he loses to everyone in the top. I think he loses. I think he might lose to Jamal Hill. It matters how washed Jamal Hill is after this. I think I think he would lose to Pereira. He would lose to maybe he would lose to Ankalaev. Maybe. I think definitely lose to Yuri. Maybe honestly, a Yuri versus RDR fight would be fun. But I think he would lose to Carlos Ulberg, like with a decision. But I think Jamal Hill is the easiest fight for him to win against, and I think I don't know what Jamal Hill is. I think he's somewhere around 10 to the 6 ranking area. I think he's closer to 10 than 8 than 5. So, but if he wins against Jamal Hill, he could get the loser of Ulberg versus Yuri or Ankalaev whenever he fucking comes back from the mountains. So honestly, this is an easier path for him to fight for a title. Just doesn't have to be middleweight. The next fight is Paulo Costa. If Paulo Costa wins against the undefeated dude, I'm not sure, cause I don't know. I don't know if Paulo Costa chose. I think they forced him to go to 205 and fight, but I'm not sure if he wins. I don't know if he's gonna stay, cause that is a better chance of fighting for the title on 205, cause I think the guy's like 14-0, 15-0. So it would give him a higher chance of fighting for the title on 205. But if he loses, I think RDR versus Paulo Costa is a pretty good fight. I know they have a little bit of beef between them, and you can arguably make this a fight night in the Apex, low key. But yeah, I think both of these fights are really winnable, in my opinion. Because he can't fight Gregory Rodriguez. That's his teammate. I'm trying to think. I don't think he can't fight Anthony Hernandez because he lost twice. Ferreira lost. I'm trying to think. Jared Cannonier lost, so I don't think they'll shoot him up. Maybe they might. I'm trying to think. Michael Venom Page is not even in the middleweight division. Joe Pyfer has a fight. That's really it. Yeah. So these two are two winnable fights for him. I think I think he guaranteed wins these fights against these two. So hopefully he gets back. Nah, hopefully not soon. I think he needs to take a little bit more time. Maybe almost. I know he's old, but bro, maybe like October, November return. That would give his body and really enough time to rejuvenate whatever, to just grow back into whatever he was during the Kevin Holland, Robert Whitaker era. And I think during that, I think he would win. So yeah, hopefully, I pray that we get a redemption for RDR. Now on to the loser. I'll do the winner last. Um, Max Holloway loses 50-45 against Charles Oliveira, and I'm seeing a lot of discourse about the fight, talking about how, like the critics or the critique against Charles Oliveira, and in my opinion, I think it's on both sides. But at the same time, if you're fighting for a belt that in the acronym stands for baddest motherfucker, and you take him down, he did a decent amount of damage, but not for a full 25 minutes and a couple sub attempts. That's not a good fight. I could understand if you're doing it for the UFC title fight where there's no expectation. The only expectation for you is to win no matter what. Obviously, for the BMF, it's the same thing, but there's a certain thing that is expected for you in a BMF baddest motherfucker fight to do against Max Holloway. And now I'm not saying just stand up every single time, like obviously, but like try to at least do something. Like Armin Sharukian, if he gets on top of you, he's destroying your face. If Islam is doing it, he's not gonna do things. Nah, say nah. He's at least trying more sub attempts than Charles Oliveira. The only reason why he wasn't because JDM wasn't a lot. Like he didn't want to get subbed, so he would just stay in one position and didn't want to get subbed. But Charles Oliveira could try more, and he didn't want to, in my opinion, and only waited for the first minute and the last 10 seconds of the fights to do something. That's my opinion on it. It it was a bad fight in terms of a BMF fight. It's already a gimmick, but bro, if you because he called out, he called Jesus Christ if I could talk. When he beat Gamrot, he called out Max Holloway for the BMF. So you can't call out the guy who has the baddest motherfucker title just for you to lay on him for 25 minutes. That's just my opinion. If you're fighting for a title, I can understand that. But if you're giving yourself expectations that you're just not doing. That's kind of like on you, in my opinion. But maybe it's a bad take. I don't know. I've seen a lot of people talk about it. I don't really care. I don't really care. Charles Oliveira is gonna lose no matter what. After I show you what I give him, but for Max, I give him BSD. They're basically, I think BSD is number 5, number 6, and Max Holloway I believe is 4 or 5. So they're literally right next to each other. This is a really winnable fight for Max Holloway. I think in terms of a lot of people, because you can get up from BSD's takedowns way more often than Charles Oliveira. Because I don't know why I'm blank. Rufy got up from the takedowns. I know he still lost, but it's more easier to get up from a takedown from BSD. I think Dan Hooker defended a lot of takedowns, and I don't know if he got up from any of the takedowns, but he did defend it. And I truly think it's a way winnable fight than Max Holloway. I know it might be a pick'em fight, or BSD might be the slight underdog, but I think Max Holloway kind of easily beats him in my opinion. I could be wrong. I definitely could be wrong. I could all of a sudden see BSD teeing up and just beating the fuck out of Max Holloway. But I think I could clearly see just Max Holloway stuffing the takedowns, then beating him up. And maybe I would say honestly I could see another TKO Doctor stoppage like how it was in the Moicano fight. I can honestly see that. So I think this is a way winnable fight. And for the next one is Paddy Pimblett. I know they both lost, but Paddy Pimblett only lost to it. They didn't deserve it. Jesus Christ, they didn't deserve it, but it's still fighting for the interim title. and he fought to the number, I forgot what Justin Gaethje was. I think it was like number three. I could be wrong, number three, number four, but this is a really exciting fight. Honestly, I think Max Holloway still beats him in my opinion. Um, his unlike unlike Charles Oliveira, Paddy Pimblett cannot get takedowns at all for one to save his life, and I think Max Holloway could easily get up from Paddy Pimblett. I know they're both wrestlers, but honestly, I think both of them are winnable. It's just that Charles Oliveira wrestling is wrestling takedown is just on a different level than these two, in my opinion. I think that's a pretty cold take. I think these are both winnable. They get him right back into the title contention. I think if he beats him, he could fight the loser. I think Justin Gage is gonna retire, so I think the loser of Armin Sarukian versus whatchamacallit, Ilya Taporia, because he's in a bad spot. Because Justin Gaethje is gonna retire. Ilya Taporia is probably gonna still be champion. I can honestly, if Ilya Taporia vacates the title to fight at welterweight, I can honestly see him fighting whatchamacallit, fighting for the vacant title. I can see him fighting for the vacant title against Armin Sarukian, and I think Armin would easily beat him. But that's for another day if that ever happens. But these are two fights that should be for Max. Um, yeah, both winnable in my opinion. I think he can honestly easily beat them. Now for Charles Oliveira, I only got one fight for him. I know he's on a 2-fight winning streak, but I don't think he deserves the title. And the only one that makes sense is Armin Sarukian a rematch. The first one, I wouldn't say it was close, but he did make it competitive. But I think Armin Sarukian just beats him again. He only got caught by the submissions that weren't even close. So Armin Sarukian was always like not he what if Charles Oliveira, I believe I think he needed to do one more thing to actually like secure the choke. But Armin Sarukian was so good, like, so calm. He he easily won. I think I don't know if it was 29-28, 30-27, but I think all of them were 30-27s. I think because I remember the first round he got the submission attempt, but then Armin Sarukian countered it and then just started beating on him. Then the second round he beat him, and then third round he beat him. So I do believe it was the 30-27 for Armin Sarukian, and I think he would if Oliveira is gonna come in wrestling heavy the same way he did. I think Armin Sarukian could reverse him and then beat ground and pound Charles Oliveira. I don't think Charles Oliveira could. Maybe the only again Armin Sarukian is one of the fighters who isn't scared of getting submitted, because I think Dan Hooker, his last couple of it was only the last two fights. Charles Oliveira, the second to last one, and then Dan Hooker, they both tried to submit him, but he's easily countered it, reversed it, and then beat on them at the second he's on top. And I really don't think Charles Oliveira is gonna be any more different, in my opinion. As sad as it be, I just don't think he deserves. If Justin Gaethje lost, if Justin Gaethje is guaranteed to fight Charles Oliveira after, then he would beat, in my opinion, Justin Gaethje and then fight for the title. But if Justin Gaethje, which is most likely gonna happen, is gonna retire after he loses to Ilya Taporia, I don't think Charles Oliveira deserves it, in my opinion. It's just that he lost. Like if it was competitive, I could see him giving him the title shot. But since he lost in the first round, and Charles and Ilya Taporia was kind of easily like dismantling him, I think I really don't think he should give him another fight. Just give him Armin Sarukian, in my opinion, and then Armin Sarukian can finally get the title shot, and then he can finally become champion, and then he'll be undefeated as champion. But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching the video. This video hopefully comes out before 8 o'clock. I could probably edit it as I barely do any editing, but I could probably edit the video, just review it before 8 o'clock, and then submit it at 8 o'clock. 3 days in a row. I think that's a first. I think that's the first time in my YouTube history that I did 3 days in a row. Hopefully, I can aim for 4. If I could do 4, that'd actually be a milestone. But thank you guys for watching. leave a like, subscribe. I've been in the same 6 subscribers for a minute, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video enough to subscribe, like, comment what you guys think. Hopefully, I'm not gonna go on a full debate, but if you guys have different opinions, I'd gladly just take you up on those opinions. I want to hear what you guys think about my opinions that I give out. I'm not scared to. I'm not gonna like I said. I'm not gonna debate. That's some like kind of corny loser shit to debate on a YouTube comment. But I would want to at least go slightly like a little bit back and forth, with just like what your opinions on the UFC, your opinions about my opinions about it, and we could disagree, agree, whatever you guys feel like. So thank you guys for watching. Yeah, I don't really have a schedule. It's really just when I have the time to make the videos, and whenever I do make the videos and edit them. So hopefully if I do feel good enough, I could release another video tomorrow. That I could. It's kind of hard, but hopefully if the schedule lines up, if no one's in my house to record these videos, I can. And just the video idea, I do have a video idea. So right now it's just the process of making it and the actual recordings of it. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.